Hi, I'm Edward Johnson here with GameInterface.net, and today I have with me the creators of one of the most anticipated releases this fall, Super Meat Boy, Team Meat. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the last few months, Super Meat Boy is in the Meat Boy series, which originated with Meat Boy, a Flash game that debuted to success and internet fame in 2008, and I've got them here to answer a few questions for our community. Welcome, Team Meat, Edmund McMillin, and Tommy Refenes. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Did I get your name right? I hope I did.
My name is actually Edward McMillin.
Oh, it is close. I bet people... It's really close. You think she stole it from you?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
My name is pronounced Megatron.
I'll remember that,
Yeah.
Tommy. So, to start off, I remember playing Meat Boy when it was first released. Now, the original is actually... I enjoyed it a lot. So, what spurred your decision to bring it from being a Flash game to where we get now, where Super Meat Boy, which is a console game?
Let's see here. I'm going to give the truthful answer in great detail. I was trying my best to get a console deal with anybody. I was talking to Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo around the time I was churning out games around Meat Boy time. And I wasn't able to get hold of anybody. I had some minor contacts at Microsoft. So I had to actually... What I did was I made a video of me calling Reggie and trying to get on WiiWare, and then I posted it on the internet. And that actually got me in contact with the head of WiiWare development right away. It got back to them, and he contacted me, and it was around that time where I was working with Tommy on a game called Gray Matter, or Megatron.
Yeah.
And is that correct, Tommy?
Yeah, it is pronounced. It's Dutch, Megatron.
And yeah, basically we started working together. We got along, and Tommy came down and visited, and we got along in real life. And we thought, hey, maybe we should do a console game. And I think originally Nintendo was talking to us about Ether, and Microsoft was talking to us about Gish 2. And those were the games that I was originally talking to them about. But then we just spun it. And instead we thought, hey, let's do Meat Boy, seeing as it was the most popular recent game that I had worked on, and it was probably the most easy to expand on as far as kind of making the ultimate platformer. It was actually started out not so ambitious. Originally started out with only 100 levels, no bosses. It was just going to be kind of an upgraded version of the Flash game, but we saw early on when we started showing it publicly, Tommy went and showed it at this WiiWare summit, and we saw right away that the reaction was just really, really positive, and we saw that we could expand on it like indefinitely, basically. And so we just went completely nuts and obsessively worked on it, and that's basically what happened for a good year after that. Does that answer your question?
It answers it fully. I like that.
Any questions?
Now, in Super Meat Boy, for those of you who, like I said, have possibly been living under a rock and haven't played the original, Meat Boy goes and rescues his girlfriend in every level, only have her taken away again. Now, the characters in this game, they're bizarre and they're really unique. So the main character is made of meat. The damsel in distress, she's made of Band-Aids, Band-Aid Girl. And the villain is, now, it's an unborn baby, fetus, that's in a jar, and it has like a suit body.
Yeah.
Mechanical thing? All right.
He has, you could say he's disabled. That's what he has. Those are his limitations. He has to work around those things. In a lot of ways, it's a triumph for people with disabilities to show that you, too, could be a horrible person who can destroy the world.
Yeah.
You just need a suit that makes you more mobile.
Yeah. That's really all you do need. It's just some sort of biomechanical bipedal suit, not unlike Metal Gear, and then you can terrorize the world.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got me thinking, of course, with the really unique characters. You guys have some type of different... what's your creative process?
Creative process. I draw things on a piece of paper, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like for Meat Boy, the creative process was okay. I'll give you a real answer. I mean, this is out of character at this point. The real answer, again, is when designing a character for a game, me personally, I think about the game, I think about what we're trying to say, and what works. So this is traditional villain, damsel in distress, silent film style story. Even the villain himself is very stereotypically, top hat, monocle, he's evil. The only thing he doesn't have is a mustache, and that's because he hasn't hit puberty. I'm sure he would have a really awesome mustache if he had hit puberty by that time, but no, he's still quite young. So Dr. Fetus is the villain. And now Meat Boy, I was basically trying to make a character that was very vulnerable but very super powerful, like Superman has kryptonite and whatever else. Now Meat Boy doesn't have skin or any kind of protective outside, so he's if he jumps in salt, he's basically fucked. So, and he's very delicate. So I want a really delicate character that you care about, who's vulnerable and everything else, also in a visual way and a design way. Dr. Fetus would be a villain that is, you could say he's childlike in his understanding. He's even less than child. He's fetus. So he's primitive. He's got the primitive basic mindset. He doesn't even understand what he's doing, but he's bad, and that's all he knows. So you got that. And then Band-Aid Girl, which would, she's basically a protective coating that kind of Meat Boy needs. So they've got this symbiotic relationship where, he needs her. And that's like his protective outer shell, I guess, if you will. And that's where her design came from. And of course, I like the things that are strange. And so I just grab at strange combinations, and that's that. Real answer, and only you've got that answer.
Oh man, I loved it too. It was I loved how it all wrapped together.
He was making all of that up.
Oh man. So later you're gonna hear the interview and be like, I just made it up.
The awesome thing is at this point, there's a good chance that people will be like, wait, is this a joke?
Yeah,
is this
that's
real?
What makes it funny.
Yeah, you find out.
Yeah,
you do the research. You
do the math.
Seems like it makes sense. Maybe I just made it up.
Maybe we just get Koreans to draw everything.
But yeah, the funny thing is, originally Meat Boy was he was called Inside Out Ninja. It was based around like an inside out person who would be in pain basically whenever they were doing anything, but they got like ninja skills. And he had like a hood, and the rest of him was red, inside out, bloody, and he'd leave a trail of blood. But the game, when I was working on it with John, it was already very N-like, and I'm like, I don't want to, put even more reference to N in this game, so I should probably remove the ninja part. So we just took off his hood, and he became Meat Boy, and that's that.
How it came to be.
That's that.
So, looking at the game, one of the new features of Super Meat Boy is the replay camera, where you can see at all of your attempts at the level and the death simultaneously until one Meat Boy survives and is finishing the level. So that's an amazing feature. How did that come about? Did people want to see? Was there a need, or the army of Meat Boys? Where did that come from?
So there was this video a while back. It was called Quantum Mario, and what it was a modified Super NES emulator where people have hacked like Mario ROMs and everything and have made their own levels and stuff. And there was this one really, really hard level, and this guy just played through the level, and it took him like 128 tries. And using this hacked emulator, he was able to overlay all of them on top of each other. And so it just showed like a bunch of Marios dying and falling off cliffs and stuff like that until finally there was one that made it all the way through. And I was looking at that and I go, I can do that in real time for every level in the game, so I'm going to do that. And then I did.
Rip off.
Yeah, it was
Ripping
a rip
the people off. Scammer.
It was awesome.
I love the feature.
It's good. It's a reward for dying a bunch of times because it's funny to watch all of your Meat Boys getting killed by a saw. It's really, my favorite thing is when there's like a shooting saw and you have like a whole bunch of Meat Boys that die on that because one saw just like flies through all of them. So it's like 10 of them just get mowed down by one saw. It's pretty cool.
I'm going to slightly derail this question by referencing something that I previously talked to Tommy about, which was a picture of what the hell is her name? The redhead. Robin?
Oh, Robin, yeah.
Yeah. You know that post that I told you about?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. There's a comment on the bottom, and I just have to point this out here, just to show you the status of the internet and everything else on here. The comment on the bottom here is by somebody named Pooh. They said this: "I want to come in her hair. I'm so sorry."
Wow.
Yeah, that's this is all going. This is on Indie Games Blog. There's a single image of Robin, who is the producer, or I don't know what she does, over at that game company, and there's an article, I guess, on what she does, and that's the comment. So
it's such a magical
thing. Sums up the internet.
I gotta read this.
Apologizes though.
No.
I don't want to comb her hair. I'm so sorry. There's even a unhappy face after that. Like, he's genuinely apologizing for that comment that he couldn't control. Hey.
He's got Tourette's of the internet.
Can't
His
stop.
fingers just spaz out and type stuff. Oh my God, in her hair! Oh God! Oh God!
Well, because there's a good chance that she'd be reading this and she'd be down.
Yeah, well, she's sitting there. She's sitting there in Santa Monica. It's lonely. She looks at the comments and she goes, "Why won't anybody come in my hair?" And then all of a sudden, this guy, this Prince Valiant, comes out. It's like, hey, I'll do it.
It's too bad you can't like type in poo on the internet and find the guy's contact information.
I know this is a tragedy, is what it is. It's because they were meant for each other, and now they have no way. She has no way to find him.
Yeah,
a poor girl.
Man,
that's sad. That's really sad.
I want to meet somebody that just says that.
Excuse me, ma'am. This makes me very sad to say. I'm sorry I'm saying it in advance. I'd really like to come in your hair. Your response, please?
I could not live with myself a minute longer if I didn't tell you that I want to come in your hair. I want to come in your hair. I'm sorry.
Specific. I mean, is that a comment on her hair? Like, he really likes her hair.
Honestly, looking at her hair, I don't think I want to come in her hair.
Yeah, but what if she shaved her head and just sent him her hair?
Just like a bag of hair?
Wow.
This is awful. The internet is a fucking toilet. I hate it. I actually did have that epiphany the other day. I went and it was one of the days when I wasn't going to bed until like 2 p.m. So I got in the car and I went to Bojangles for breakfast at like 9 a.m. And I go and the lady was very, very nice. And she made eye contact, smiled and everything. Just a nice, older lady. And I went, wow, that's pretty nice. And I'm like, why do I hate people? And then I got thinking of the examples that I've found of people that I hate. And they're all on the internet. So I realized that I hate the fucking internet, not so much people.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. But I'll tell you one thing.
Huh.
Super Meat Boy is awesome.
True.
I heard actually. I heard from two sources so far. I heard from MTV that it was awesome, and I believe it.
I believe everything MTV tells me.
Yep. I've gone back in time. I'm 13 years old again, and I'm watching the Guns N' Roses "You Could Be Mine" video, and then Right Said Fred comes on, and anything it tells me, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. And I hope everybody else is the same.
They're probably right, and you'll probably get more amazing reviews for this game.
Hope so.
So, talking about Meat Boy, well, that was a great segue. It really was bad. So
We derailed a lot.
yeah, but it's okay. This is about you and your game. You can go wherever you need to go. But as you continue through the game, here's one of the things I want to know, and this is a personal question, really. But as you continue through the game, collecting Band-Aids and such, you can collect and unlock characters from other indie games.
Yes.
Alien Hominid, Tim from Brave, Commander Video from Bit Trip. There's some others in there. So, was it hard to bring other indie characters and get the rights and bring those into your game?
We basically know everybody whose characters that we've included in the game. We've either worked with or know personally. I mean, I've known Tom and Dan I've known Tom for like 10 years, maybe 11 years at this point. I've known Dan for like 8 years. I've known Derek for 6 or 7 years. I've known all these people for a very long time, and like characters like Gish and Tim are both characters that I designed personally. So it was a pretty easy thing to acquire those things. And also, it's like, I mean, the whole point for us, I mean, like characters like Alien Hominid and Tim will of course help us, but the majority of other characters are going to be, you know, relatively unknown to most, and it was kind of our way of giving back to the community that, you know, lifted us up this high. I mean, if it wasn't for the independent community, I'd be completely unknown, and I would have never gotten the attention of Microsoft or Nintendo. So it was our way to kind of point back to games that, you know, that we really like, and hope that people might unlock Fly Wrench and go, what the hell's Fly Wrench? And then look up the game online and play it for free, and then find out who Mess Off is and go from there. There's a lot of reference to independent games and classic gaming in general, so hopefully it will inspire people to maybe even make their own games. I'm trying to.
And here's a bonus question. One Meat Boy at a time. It could work. So here's a bonus question for you. Without, I mean, if forgetting rights and fair use and all that stuff, any character, video game character at all that you would like to bring to the Meat Boy universe and use, what could it be if you had one wish for bringing a character in?
God, I don't know. There was a character that we wanted to put in the game, but we got fucking stone. Is the term stonewalled? Is that the term?
Yeah, I would think so.
Might as well make this public because it's not gonna. There's no way it's gonna happen on the Wii.
Yeah,
we desperately wanted to put quote in the game from Cave Story,
yeah.
But we repeatedly got turned down. And I've heard that I guess he's Japanese, but I heard that Asians in general aren't really keen on crossovers.
Yeah.
And it's not something to do, and it's kind of almost frowned upon. And that's all I've heard, and that's what I heard the reason was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which sucks because we really just wanted it in there. We wanted him in there to, it just seemed like a natural fit.
Yeah, I love Cave Story, and it seems very, very appropriate for the Wii, but that was the one and only developer that said no way.
Mm-hmm.
And that was basically it. I don't know. What would you want to put in there, Tommy? Any characters anywhere?
I think we kind of got all the ones we want.
Oh, there was another one we didn't get, and that was Reggie.
Oh yeah, well we couldn't get Reggie.
We tried our hardest to get Reggie as an unlockable character for the Wii version, and he said no.
Yeah.
That is for real. People thought that was a joke, but that's totally for real. We asked him on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
He turned us out. He turned us down. His reasoning was that if he does it once, that he's going to have a bunch of people asking him to whatever. He's so high on himself. Look at that guy.
Look at that guy.
Come on.
Oh, I'm just the head of Nintendo of America.
Everybody wants me in their games.
God, I just don't have enough time for all this stress. Those were the two problems, and I don't know. I couldn't honestly. I don't think if we put any kind of mainstream characters in the game, I think it would just totally miss. Like it wouldn't fit. Yeah, it does. Like I was sitting here thinking, oh, maybe like Mega Man or Solid Snake, but both of those are just like that wouldn't fit at all. It would cheapen it.
Yeah.
As far as indie characters,
I get you.
Got all the ones we want, minus quote.
Yeah.
All right. Wrapping this up a little bit, I got two more things to touch on. And I know, of course, your game, Super Meat Boy, is coming to WiiWare. It's also coming to PC. But on October 20th, it's debuting as part of the Game Feast on Xbox 360.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's like
It's
the main, right? The main course.
Unless you're thinking about that free game that comes out next week.
Yeah, I don't understand that game at all. I don't
free,
understand
so nobody
it.
cares like they're going to buy it either way. But I guess it's just a pinball game. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like a sequel to an older pinball game that was on Xbox Live a while ago. I guess you like buy tables or something. I don't really understand it, but it's cool they're giving away a free game, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that goes without
You're more
saying.
important, though.
Yeah.
You've got value. But since I'm touching on Xbox 360, I have to just discuss the internets. which is an exclusive chapter to Xbox, which will allow for free additional levels to the game.
That is correct, and that is the
that'll be
perfect way
released
to
in
say it too.
chapters.
Because I was worried
Now,
about how you would say that, and it is for additional levels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, additional levels to point out, because you know how
Oh,
you know what everyone
there.
always says on the Xbox,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah, this
I think
definitely
that's crap.
You
But
download the levels when you go to the internets, and they can be
Yeah, I'll
changed
tell you
out
right
at any time.
And it's definitely not done yet because I haven't made the next chapter. I've made
Yeah.
one chapter, and the next chapter break. This is break time to
Yeah.
press and do fun stuff. This is the only time we've had to cool down just a bit. I mean, Tommy's still working on a new trailer, and I'm doing animation for that sort of stuff too. But for the next 2 weeks, we're just going to be working on press stuff. Then we'll get back into making more content and stuff like that. But the game's not out either way, so we're safe.
Yeah.
now, in a game where you already have more than 300 levels, which is amazing and awesome, and on a console where nothing is really ever free, why the
dumb
free?
idiots.
And how do you guys get that to work?
I've read that. We're so stupid. We're charging for. We're not charging for something we could be making money off of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think trying to juice everything for every penny is a very mainstream business thing. Realistically, if the game does well, I don't really care if we sell some extra expansion packs. I'm not a fan of that sort of stuff. I don't like charging people for whatever additional content. I'd rather them just buy the game and they paid their price, and when new content comes out, maybe they'll like it so much they might tell somebody else about the game that didn't know about the game, and that's all that really matters. Like, if we keep people happy, I would like to think that they would be more inclined to talk to others about the game.
Yeah.
And I'd rather keep them entertained and keep them playing than charge them for more content. It's just, I don't know. It's just something that we're fans of, so we didn't do it that way.
Yeah, the game, it doesn't fit the game either. It doesn't fit the game to have stuff like, it wouldn't fit the game to like pay $1 and get a new character or something. It would seem to go against everything that the game is about in a way.
Yeah.
And with the internets, it just sort of worked out. It was actually sort of Microsoft's idea. They came, when we were talking to them, they're like, what have you guys thought about like a level of the week thing? And we thought that was awesome. And then we did the typical Team Meat thing and sort of ran with it and made it really awesome. And that's, I mean, it's
You guys have cut out. I can't hear anybody.
What? Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all when you were talking.
It's cutting in and out a little bit.
I don't want to say it all again.
What did you say? What was the gist? Oh, no, he's down. Now he's gone. He's pissed. I wonder what's going on. Skype's been fighting with Tommy today, actually, so I'm sure he'll call back in a sec. I wish I knew what he was saying so I could expand upon it. It was something that a basic thing Microsoft suggested because we wanted to do some sort of online addition to the game. And of course, we talk about downloadable content and whatever else, and we thought, hey, well, we can try this out. And Microsoft and Tommy basically brainstormed of the best way to do it. And I don't think we can go into the technical details without getting in trouble. But basically, it's something that's going to work for Meat Boy specifically because of the way Tommy does certain things. And it allows us to upload content for as long as we want for Super Meat Boy because the files are so tiny. And yeah, it lets us continue to update. But the cool thing about the internet is it's not just additional levels. Like, we're not just throwing additional levels out there. Like the initial pack, which is called the Butcher Boy, which comes out at launch, so you'll get an extra pack right away. Is 20 levels that are they kind of expand on different mechanics that are introduced in the game. So a lot of the stuff that you'll see is going to be totally kind of new. And then after that, we're going to start doing character-specific chapters where certain characters' abilities are kind of put to the test, and you have to use only them throughout the chapter. So it totally changes everything. So the content that people are going to be getting is going to be completely new.
The internet, of course, the content is going to be free, but on is it WiiWare and PC where you're going to be able to get user-created levels?
Not WiiWare.
Not WiiWare, just the PC.
Just the PC.
Now, are these going to be shared in any way or checked for quality, or just open and go?
We're not exactly sure yet. I kind of want to do like a central database of everything, but I also kind of don't want to do a whole shitload of work right now. So, yeah, we'll kind of just see how it goes. I mean, the editor doesn't come out when the PC game comes out. The editor will come out somewhat later, just because we have to make what Ed and I use. We just have to make it a little more user friendly and stuff.
There's no way anybody would be able to use the editor that we use and have any understanding at all of what the hell's going on if they just jumped into it.
Yeah, I'd have to write like a giant document about it, and that would be irritating.
It's not user friendly.
Yeah.
But we can say that of course, so the point we're trying to do with the with the internets as well as the editor was to months after release, once the editor comes out, we could start taking the best of the PC for levels that work, of course, with the Xbox. So you couldn't use characters specific to PC that weren't in the Xbox. But the ones that work, we can take the best of and then start uploading even more content to the Xbox. So those the best of packs will, of course, be available for both PC, Mac, and Xbox Live. The Wii, we couldn't do this without pushing the game back a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, those are the limitations that we had to work around. We'd much rather have the game just come out as the game as was intended, a full game. There's no story cut out. It's just bonus content that's not there. And we will have some specific characters for that version, and we just got to take it as it goes. Basically, we're trying to work around the limitations that we have on the Wii, and it's hard enough as it is right now just to get the build that we have down to 38 megs. So
yeah, that's a chore right there.
Now, I do have one off the wall question here before the end, and I found out. Actually, I wrote the question for the interview. It has to do with meat, but I guess I found out as I was doing more information, looking. Are you vegan, Tommy?
What answer do you want to hear?
Oh, I guess I guess the real one is no. So I guess I'm good on my question. I just didn't want to offend you by asking this question.
Everything offends me always.
Okay.
I don't think I would be offended by your question. That offends me.
Hey, Tommy, how many diabetics does it take to change a vegan?
How many?
I don't know. This is to make you feel bad. But you're not vegan, so it probably didn't.
Wow. Yeah, I really can't trust what I hear in your interviews, can I?
Yeah, no. See, this is a tactic I learned a long time ago, and it's a tactic I've also taught to my cat. And it is you put out false information all the time so that no one knows what you're really thinking. And the way this applies to my cat is he never lays in the same place twice. Like, he rotates. That way his enemies never know where he is. Run a real sane household over here.
I guarantee that you probably thought he was a vegan from an interview that we did at GDC. And technically, for that moment in time, he might have been a vegan at that point.
I might have been a vegetarian at that time during that day.
Yeah, well, I did not see you eating meat and or drinking milk during the interview, so technically...
During that interview, yes, I was a vegan.
There's a major loophole here. The people who's like, I'm vegan. Well, at some point you weren't, so you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just trying to avoid eating meat then at that point.
Yeah.
And also, there's just a million other things as well. The fact that everybody eats bugs while they sleep. So fraud. I'm calling them all frauds.
Yeah, they're all
frauds.
No one's a real.
And I'm saying right now I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian right now.
I survive only off water right now.
I go out and stand in the sun. People actually claim that they do that. They stand out in the sun, and that's how they can get energy. They don't have to eat. They just stand in the sun. They're
not plants. It doesn't work that way. You can't do photosynthesis with your white skin.
Yeah, well,
I assume it's only yuppie white people that do that. I can't imagine it's any other race of people. White people are retarded.
It was I believe it was part of like a little camp of people that's out in fucking there's a lot of hippies in Texas and Phoenix and stuff now. It's all Arizona is getting pretty hippie-ish, and they've got desert hippies.
Yeah, desert hippies that stand out there and they get sunburnt and they die.
You just see you go through the desert, right? and you look out and you just see the charred remains of all.
I get my nourishment from the sun, man.
Yeah, sun something, sun whatever. I don't know.
Sun morons is what I call them.
It's called sun cancer. Get with the times. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe they stand out in the sun until they get huge cancerous lumps, and they feed off of those as nourishment.
They like pick at them.
Yeah, like a scab, and then it's just like a harvest. Oh, harvest time, break out paw, and then they just lay him down on the ground, they peel off his cancer scabs, and it's a whole...
Yeah, they just peel like the sunburnt skin and the cancer cells, and they just eat those.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving, kids. Break out paw.
Break out grandma. Peel some skin off her back.
Hey, can you squeeze me some juice on this?
Yeah.
And then what they do is they just kind of like grab a tit and they squeeze it, and then...
This is disgusting.
Like
this is disgusting. This is the grossest shit we've ever come up with.
It's fucking fact.
Yeah, these are real people, and they're all McCain supporters.
I am. Yeah, this interview is. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I feel bad. I feel really bad. I'm gonna. Well,
wait, why do you feel bad?
No, because it is amazing and fun, and I really. I
don't see any negativity coming from something that's so awesome.
I don't know. I love this interview. I think everyone else will love it. I think they're just gonna be like, let's talk about the game, and I'm like, no, you don't want to. You want to hear the hilarity that's cancer scabs.
In a way, we are talking about the game. Yeah. Do you see what's going on here? It's very meta. How we are talking to you and how we are going off on tangents is very much the same way that the game was developed.
That's another twist. Another twist.
Yeah. We were dead all along.
Dead the whole time.
All right. Well, since I'm not going to actually offend you, then
please do. No, I want to be offended.
All right, I'll try.
All right, let's go.
All right. So we talked about Meat and Super Meat Boy. So wrap up one of my favorite things. I just want to get a question I make up, a little bonus question, if you will. So you guys have all heard of the turducken.
Yeah.
So for each of you, if you could have a perfect meat inside of meat meal, what would it be?
This is a very good question, actually.
I've actually seen this done on a porno. It was like a quadruple, thing. There was like 2 in 1, and then there's 2 in 1 and 2 in the other, and then the 2 in the other.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a human inside human situation. So that'd be mine. Go ahead, Tommy.
You stole mine. I don't know. I'd like bacon inside of ham. That's weird, isn't it?
Like, is it so it's crunchy on the inside but soft on the outside? Like,
yeah, I want ham and then bacon and then sausage.
Oh, man.
That doesn't sound bad though. That sounds like a breakfast of champions.
It just sounds like a pig.
If you boiled like a pig, or cooked like a whole pig, do like different parts of the pig taste different, or is it totally how it's cooked?
Honestly, that is something I've wondered for a long time, and I don't know the answer to.
That's weird.
I don't know. Can't tell you.
Yeah, do different parts of the cow taste different?
I assume so, because they have the whole different cuts, right? But I like if somebody gave you, we know that that chicken tastes different, right? Because you've got the breast tastes dry, and the legs taste juicy and great.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd think that different places on the cow or pig would taste different, which is just so strange.
It's very strange. I wonder if different places on a person taste different.
I assume they would taste different.
Like if you were to eat a breast of a person versus their leg, would it taste different?
Like some parts of the person might taste soapy, while other parts might taste cheesy.
Yeah. Yeah. The leg is cheesy.
Yeah. Maybe salty versus flaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that was all about meat, though. But I would like to. That was my bonus question, and I'm all out of questions, guys. But I would like to thank both Edmund and Tommy for taking some time out to speak with me about Super Meat Boy, which is coming out on Xbox Live Arcade, rounding out the Game Feast, the main course on October 20th. And it's also coming to WiiWare and PC next month, correct?
Well, PC next month, but we don't have. We basically have to go through certification with with the Wii again. So if we have it done by then, I don't know. As soon as possible, really. We're trying to get it out there as soon as possible, but it's taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's kind of out of our control. Also, we don't set release dates for consoles and stuff.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it is. We want to be done with it, and we want it to be out this year. So that's what we're aiming for.
And we will keep all of everybody updated on the site on how everything's coming along with Super Meat Boy.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up soon.
Alrighty.